Alright, so that last video was a complete failure. I failed, but you will not, because you will be successful. Let me try to remember what I was telling you. So, what I was trying to tell you was some last minute tips to get you really prepared, to get you kind of thinking about what you need to be doing. If you are doing some last minute review right now, it's probably not a good idea to just straight read through the textbook or watch videos straight through, hoping that some of it is going to get absorbed into your brain. What you really need to do right now, even though you're tired, we're all very tired, is to quiz yourself. So go to Quizlet, use Hey Mr. Lee, and then type in 1.1 or 3.2 or whatever, and just make sure you're familiar with the vocabulary words. And if you're not, then go figure it out. Check the syllabus, check the textbook, check the study guide, whatever you need to do. Make sure you go through all of that. But you should be quizzing yourself and then making corrections if you need to address the areas that you need to improve. So, just a reminder, tomorrow you are all about paper 1 and paper 2. You should know, no surprises, that paper 1 is 1 hour long, and paper 2, this is for higher level, is 2 hours and 15 minutes long. For the multiple choice, paper 1, you will have 40 questions. And for all of you that are aiming for really high scores, sixes or sevens, each one of these points makes a huge difference. We're talking about 37 out of 40 for a 7, or 36 if you're lucky out of 40 to get a 7. So use all the techniques that we practice in class. Process of elimination, do a mini brain vomit before you actually read the answer choices to try and predict what the possible answers will be. If there are some surprises, that's okay. At least you've organized in your mind what you should actually be expecting. And then when you have your A, B, C, D using the process of elimination, you should cross out answer choices. If you have to take a guess, you at least are more likely to get it right if you've crossed out 2 answer choices. Go back, reread the actual question to make sure that the answer choice actually matches up. Watch out for weird questions which seem overly simple, but again, don't overthink things as well too. Within 35 to 40 minutes, you will have gone through all 40 questions, and then you should use that remaining time to go back through and check the questions you're unsure of. So while you're going through these 40, put a star next to the questions that you know you want to come back and revisit. So don't leave early. Nobody should be leaving early from this, and then everything will be fine. If you have a technique where you like to answer all the questions and then you go in and then fill out the X's for the A, the B, C, D, make sure you're not copying these wrong. So actually go through and check. What I like to do is do 2 or 3 pages and then go back and then fill out the X's in the proper space, and then I'll continue through. And you can go through and do that to double check. If you want to wait till the end before you copy all these X's in, make sure you have enough time at the end and you don't get caught with not enough time and you can't actually go and fill in all the X's, and you're more likely to make errors. Depending on the schedule tomorrow, you might have, 5 or 10 or possibly 15 minutes break between paper 1 and paper 2, and then you go in for the long haul for 2 hours and 15 minutes of paper 2. Paper 2 has 3 basic types of questions. You start with your data analysis. Remember, I've mentioned in class the data analysis is probably the difference between a 6 and a 7, or a 5 and a 6. One whole letter grade can be made different as a result of how well you attempt the data analysis question. All of these, no blank spaces. There's no negative points, so you want to make sure there are no blank spaces for any of the data analysis questions. If you get a graph and there's a bar chart or a line graph or whatever, or some weird radial graph that goes out like this and you have to actually read values, make sure that you fold up the bottom of your exam, fold up the paper or whatever, use a ruler. You should bring a ruler with you to make sure you're reading across properly, and don't be lazy with reading actual values here. Make sure you include the units. If they don't have a space that has a blank space, and the actual units for you, milligrams per liter, make sure that you are writing the units as well too, just in case the mark scheme decides to say don't give the student a mark if you haven't included the actual unit. So don't make a boo-boo there with everything. Data analysis is quite long. We're talking about between 25% to 33% of the overall score for paper 2, so make sure you give that a good go. After data analysis, you will have short answer questions. Short answer questions, you must answer all of them. You don't have a choice, so you got to make sure you read the questions really, really carefully. And of course, with all of these data analysis, short answer, and essay questions, you must write within the actual box. There will be little mini dotted lines for you to write all your stuff on here. Don't go outside. Anything that goes outside will not be marked. If you want to get crazy, I guess you can write small, but that's going to stress the examiners out. So try to be concise and clear with your answers. Always go back, look at the actual question, underline the command terms. If it says outline or discuss or explain or draw or whatever, make sure you're doing exactly that with all of those bits and pieces. Now, after all of that, you get onto your essay questions. Let's go to a new slide. For your essay questions, there will be three choices for you. It could be, I don't know, depends on how many short answer the questions there are, but let's say for the essay section, you see this, 5 ABC, 6 ABC, and 7 ABC. It could be 6, 7, 8, or whatever, doesn't matter. Remember, you only choose two, or actually better yet, you have to choose two. If you only answer one and you leave early, celebrating with champagne, that's too early. Can't do that. First of all, you got to wait till you're 21 before you can do that. And then second of all, you will have missed 15 entire points. Question 6 will be worth 15 points. Question 7 will be worth 15 points. But there's an extra mark, and that extra mark is going to be for readability of your essay. Don't answer C first and then A and then B. If you must answer C first, leave space so that at least everything is in order. These questions will be strategically grouped together. So 6A, B, and C will kind of be related but not be related, but that's where your level 7 thinking comes in, where you start to see some relationships between some of these things. But don't mix up your answer. Make sure A is very clear and then B and then C. Same thing for question 7 as well too. So this extra point is for readability. How much effort do I have to put in as the examiner to actually go and find your answers? Make it clear. Use some of those English essay skills, but don't get overwhelmed with a crazy long intro about how biology has changed your life or how it has ruined your life. And then don't worry about a crazy conclusion either. That's going to waste everybody's time. So you must answer 2 out of 3 of these questions. So make sure you actually do that. 2 hours and 15 minutes is a long time. I didn't see any of you walking out of your English exam or econ exam. Oh, I don't know about that. Or any of your other exams early. So please don't walk out of your bio exam early. If you want to take a nap, if you're tired, then close your eyes. Hope that the proctor will say, "Hey, what's up? Why is Yuri sleeping?" And then they'll come bump you and tell you to wake up, and then maybe that'll be okay. So watch out for that, especially you, Remy. So check all of that out. Remember, tomorrow, neurobiology is no. You don't have to worry about neurobiology. You're going to do that tomorrow night. And then you can ask me all kinds of questions. We'll figure that out. But for tomorrow, it's paper 1 and paper 2. Let's see. Calculator is a no-go on paper 1. You can use it on paper 2. Where would you need to use a calculator? Maybe for magnification calculation questions. Please don't get those wrong. Magnification equals image size over actual, but always start with a mini brain vomit for all of the questions that show up to make sure that everything is okay. Remember that you cannot use erasable pen. Please use normal black and blue pen. If you need to fix something, then just put a line directly through what you don't want to be marked. Make it clear communication. Lastly, don't forget that these examiners are being paid for marking the number of exams. It's not about the amount of time that they spend. So make life easy for them and don't write in extremely messy handwriting. Some of you, I know, like to show off your cursive handwriting. You know who you are. I'm talking to you. Make sure your cursive writing is legible. I think most human beings can read cursive, but some human beings take a little bit longer to read cursive, so don't stress them out. When you have extra time in paper 2, go back to your essay questions and actually underline your key terms. Do that. not only for the examiner, but for yourself. And then you can actually find out, are you hitting everything that's supposed to go? Check your terms here, refer back to the question, and make sure that you are actually answering the original question. Always do that periodically. Go back and check the question, make sure you're answering what the question is actually asking. That is a huge tip for data analysis, also for short answer questions and for essays. I guess it's a huge tip for everything. In the last video, if you were kind enough to watch the entire thing that didn't record properly, here's why I didn't record properly, because my stupid Beats Bluetooth headphones were connected by Bluetooth and it was in my bag, and so the tiny little microphone through 5 layers of fabric was trying to record my voice and it didn't work out, and I got really sad, and that's why I'm doing this all over again. So just to top things off, if you didn't watch all the way till the end, I drew a cool heart to tell you that I am extremely proud of all of you. It's been a pleasure being your teacher, and when you see me tomorrow morning and I'm wishing you good luck, please don't look at me with really angry eyes about, me ruining your life with IB, biology, higher level stuff. So I don't know why they're quotes, but let's add some, feathers here. Do this, do this. I used to draw this a lot when I was a kid for Valentine's Day, trying to decide who my Valentine would be. And anyways, I got really good at drawing these cool little hearts. So good luck, IB Bio, all the way, Mr. Lee. Hopefully your handwriting is not this bad. All right, have a good night. I'll be up for 22 more minutes of my birthday, and then I'll see you guys tomorrow. Good luck.